What's up, everybody? You're tuning into Rightfully Structured. I want to touch on the subject of what are you looking for? So, that can go so many different ways. But to understand what are you looking for, to have that vision, so you actually pave the way to find this vision of what you're looking for. I could say at one point in my life, I was totally I wasn't totally clear on what I was looking for. So I basically was doing stuff. I wasn't really a bad kid like that. I wasn't that bad, but pretty much to myself. But I was like swayed with different, groups or whatever. I was swayed because I really didn't know what I was looking for. I know I enjoyed my time by myself, but over time it started to become a little clear over time that knowing what you're looking for can actually brighten that light for you so that it's not so dark. So if individuals get in your way of you actually trying to get to this point, you would notice it a lot better. People can become distractions and you wouldn't even realize it because your path of your vision of where you want to go is not clear. If you can't see it, then how are you gonna know and see the distractions that's thrown in front of you? The clearer, the better. And everything after that is like, you just got to bob and weave. Bob and weave and just keep it moving. But that's definitely one thing I could say I had to actually learn is to know where I'm going. For some things, it wasn't really clear. So that's just life. You're not going to have the map for everything, but it's good to visualize some type of understanding so you can create a map. You're not always going to have answers for everything. Very clear that to this day, I still run across situations and I'm like, wow, I had to stop and ask the creator, like, I need some type of confirmation. I need your support at this time. And it might not come when you want, but it is your job to actually be aware. So when you get the sign that it's given to you, that you see it. Be mindful of people that could possibly just be there just to be in your way. They see that you have some type of vision of what you're trying to do or whatever, and they're just there to be in your way. It doesn't it doesn't limit anybody So when you think that way, you got to look at it full circle as far as anybody, because anybody could be, put in your way. You you can you can always basically change up your paths if you feel like you need to, but it's just good to keep that mind running that you you have some type of vision that you know what you're trying to do, where you're going. That actually helped me to not become so stagnant. It's so easy to fall into this little phase of just not really doing as much as you could because of the lack of vision. Preparing to see, preparing so that you have some type of path to walk. I can honestly admit it. But at this point, I still, but I'm working. I'm working to, basically continue to push for a better me. Even if it's a situation that you feel like you might not even have that type of support. Sometimes all it takes is a conversation with the right person. One thing I learned, it's not really what somebody give you, because a lot of people look at what somebody give. It's not really the case. But over time, even at my different jobs, I had people that I spoke with, and I always been that type of person. I respected a lot of people. I seen a lot of people that was like very important people. Yeah, jobs that I worked at, and I always wanted to understand them, get some type of understanding from their point, and I have these conversations with them, and that actually helped me see things differently. This is like wealthy people. It's all different types of people. I didn't come from a rich background. I didn't have a silver spoon. I didn't have none of that. But one thing I can say is that I know where I came from, but I wasn't trying to live that all my life basically. So from that point, I had a vision. Didn't know where it was going to take me. Didn't know how long it was going to take to get there. But I had that vision, and I held strong with it. I just wanted better. I wanted better for my kids. I just wanted better. I done seen how the bottom of the barrel is. I recall a lot. Kerosene heater in the house, not eating a night or two or whatever. I'm very aware. I remember stuff, and my mother, you know what I'm saying. Everybody go through their situations, and my mother, I love her, and I understand from her standpoint what she was going through and what she dealt with. Can't fault her, but it still doesn't change the fact that I remember a lot about my past, what I've been through, and I don't regret it because that painted that vision. Like, yeah, I don't want to go through this again. I even growing up, I tripped over some stones that slowed me down. But I still always had a vision of what I was trying to do. It's been so many situations that I could have been broken. I could have just, gave up. Like very, very, very tough situations that, you know, will probably break somebody. But at the same time, I didn't understand why a lot of this stuff. Some things was in my control, but some things wasn't. But the thing was, I knew what I wanted. I knew what I was trying to do. I held on to that vision. So even when we go through these little hiccups in our life, got to keep it moving. It's going to happen. Can't avoid it. But one of the most important things to remember is that if you're able to pull from this situation without major damage to you or whatever, anything around you, and continue to push forward, and that's all that matters. We can dwell on all the stuff that we've been through and constantly going through, but got to be careful with that because it can easily become an issue because you're constantly thinking about it, and it become a mental issue easily. It's good to think about things that bother you or whatever, but you gotta have that cutoff point. You gotta have some type of understanding that, okay, I'm thinking about this because I want understanding, and that's it. I'm not thinking about this because I'm trying to bring myself down or make myself feel down. If you really want to analyze your situations, you think about it from a different standpoint, not to bring yourself down, but to actually see it, grow from it, learn it, and that actually creates a better understanding, better feeling that you can actually go back into these situations and see and push forward. That's very powerful. And to be honest, you can't really move forward without going backwards to see these things. You can't. Because it's always going to be in the way. It's always going to be there. And if you're not dealing with it, it's just going to get worse over time. And if you know that you're dealing with these kind of issues, then, and you can't deal with it yourself, then step it up. Speak to somebody that could help you. The worst thing you can do is sit back and let something occur and keep occurring, and you know that you're having an issue that you can't deal with yourself. It's not about judgment. Who cares what somebody think or what they might assume because you're going to do this or you gotta go to therapy or you gotta, who cares? If anything, you need to care about yourself because that's what it's about. Getting help for yourself. And I think that's pretty much it. I might do another video. Thank you for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time.